Yeah, I had when we went to the Dome, the Alaska Dome, ages ago in 2014. Um, after dealing with that whole race, my good friend Stacy Costa, who did the 24-hour, we hung out together, and she copied your idea of getting, because rentals there were incredibly expensive car rentals because of the cruise lines and stuff. So she went and rented a U-Haul van for her living arrangements, and it's like you rent a U-Haul van for
1995 a day. Yeah.
And then
and gas.
and gas, and then she got some of the extra carpets, and she got some boxes, and she had a little room. So anyways, long story, we got her van, we put that back, we took a bus down to downtown, and we hung out. We went into this one bar that was really nice, and Stacy likes to have a few, and it so kind of, and they told us, hey, you guys can hang out here as long as you want. And then finally, all the flights in Alaska all flew out late at night because of the cruises. So unfortunately, we got to the airport maybe at 2 or 3 in the afternoon, but my flight wasn't flying out till later in the evening. And the sad part was I'd been up for 6 days. Stacy was a little more with it, but she could go through TSA, and I had to wait. So I had to sit out in the outer hell. That's how I refer to it. Anchorage, Alaska, it was like nothing. There was no food court. There was nothing. So I had to sit there for hours, and it wasn't near anything, and it was just sheer agony. I just remember when I finally got to go in there and hang out with Stacy for a little while. So I feel your pain. Yeah, it's definitely like, the inner sanctum is awesome, but that outer sanctum.
The other thing. Yeah, that's the other thing. Food court. I can't get to food court, so I had to go to the little. They have one little teeny store, buy a few little items.
They'll have a Starbucks or something, or they'll be like one place. I mean, I get it, because unfortunately, if it was nicer, they would have total riffraff hanging around. Like I went out walking this morning with my wife, and in a 2-3 mile thing, we see many people sleeping on the sidewalks, and police department drives by quite often, but they ain't pulling them over, because what are they going to do with them? They can't find them, and they don't want to certainly collect them. So if they made the outer rim nicer, you luck out.
People hang out there all day. Yeah.
Speaking of, because we just kind of ramble on about this. So like when you go through TSA, you have the mask on, you take the mask off so they can see who you are, or is that basically what they do? Briefly, I assume that.
Yeah, that's the only time, other than like if you are eating in the food court, you can, because they space out the tables, so you can take off to eat. But you're checking in, and they're like, they have your license, they pull your mask down, okay, back up, and then the rest of the time, mask on continuously.
Yeah, and that's here in Cleveland, but then when you were in Knoxville, Tennessee, it was different, huh?
You know what? They are different airports. Like California, it's mandatory. It's not a choice. But when you go into Knoxville, it says masks are recommended. Mm-hmm. So it's not even really enforced at Knoxville. But here in Cleveland, I didn't see the signs, so I'm not sure if they're really, but everybody's got them on, and everywhere you go, it's all masked up. So, yeah.
You need to return